what's up, guys? Welcome to Date Fails. I'm so excited because we are at All Things Comedy now. We have moved. I keep saying we as if there's multiple people.
You're not homeless anymore, Kate.
I'm not homeless. I'm so happy. I mean, my soul still feels homeless, but I have a new home, and that's good. So we're at All Things Comedy, which is so dope because now we can stream the show live on YouTube. We can take phone calls so people can actually call in with questions now.
And now your guests can't come in their fucking pajamas anymore.
Well,
so
you still can, and that is encouraged, actually. But it is actually funny because I'm recording 2 episodes today. And Paul, you're the only man on the show today.
I'm the only man in Los Angeles, actually. I'm the only real man here.
The only real man. That could be true.
That's why you're keeping the scruff. That's why, so you know.
Keeping the scruff, I'm growing it out.
I think you're just so hairy, you shave and like half an hour later it's back. It just comes right back.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah.
I feel this problem.
It's
Sadly.
Sadly. God. Jen, you're not that hairy. Come on. I've never seen you shave once.
Oh, I do. Trust me.
Don't you laser though, like I do?
Yeah, but I still have to shave like once a day at least.
So you don't once a day at
twice.
least? At least?
At least.
It depends what activities I have planned for the day.
Right.
Okay?
Actually, she's right. Guys don't know that about girls, but sometimes we'll shave and then we just go out and like the wind blows and it's cold and then you get goosebumps and then
like,
you have to
this
shave
was a
again.
total waste of
Yeah, it's immediate.
But you know what's funny? Like girls will say, "Oh my God, I'm so hairy." Like they'll say, "Don't touch my legs," and they'll literally feel there's like no hair at all. There's like maybe one stubble. Then she goes, "I'm disgusting. I'm a fucking werewolf."
You're used to touching yourself, which is like a shag carpet.
That's true. Also, I compare all skin to Asian skin. So because if you ever touch an
the bar
Asian...
is so high, by the way.
I know.
You're just setting the bar super high.
I know. There's no one. You can't compete. Like if his last girl was Asian, her skin is like baby butt soft with like no hair, and you can't compete with that.
It's like the Ciroc of skin. You know what I'm saying?
The Ciroc of skin. Yes, right. Very premium because Ciroc is the most premium brand we can think
Asian
of.
skin is top shelf, you know?
Thank you.
You gotta pay extra for that shit.
Top shelf. I should introduce you guys instead of just talking at you and no one knows. People are like, who's on the show today?
Right.
Well, people watching probably know the person sitting next to me. Jen, I have to tell you, yesterday was National Best Friends Day. And at like midnight last night, I'm like combing through my photos trying to find something to tweet. I'm like, I gotta tweet something, but it's after midnight and it's too late. And I realized that we've tweeted like every photo of us together so many times. We need something new. We need to take a new picture.
We do.
But anyway, this is the fabulous, hilarious, very talented comedian and actress, Jen Sterger, Jennifer Sterger.
Dude.
Yeah, no, of course.
BFF.
Super hot. BFF. Ride or die.
Emotional support human.
Emotional support human.
Really,
I
real.
get to sit on her lap in airplanes. It's fun.
I wish that was, that would be amazing.
I'm getting a vest soon.
This is your emotional support human?
Exactly.
I think that's true, actually. I think therapists should be able to prescribe you a person, like they prescribe you a dog that gets like a discount on your flight. Like that should be just a thing.
Sign me up.
Yeah, you can catch Jen and I actually together on Sunday night at 8 p.m. on Drunk Shopping at Meltdown.
It's going to be awful.
I'm very
But in the
excited.
best way possible.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know. It's hosted by Aaron Darling and Chris Saint, who was on some show about piercing people. He's a piercer. Did you know that? He's a professional piercer. He pierces things. He's hot.
I'm covering my nipples as you speak. It just sounds painful.
We're not going to let him pierce you.
Thank
It's
God.
going to be fine. But you can watch us on that. That's going to be amazing. And you've got a historical roast coming up?
I've had a couple of them, yeah, but I know the one I'm most excited about is probably the professional wrestling one. We're going to roast. You have to roast. It's a historical roast, so you roast someone that's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So we're roasting Macho Man.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't give it away, but I will be doing it in a character.
You will?
Yeah, so I get to bring back like character acting. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, I think you might do it as China. I'm just going to guess.
No, just because I sound like a dude does not mean I'm China, okay?
That's why we're friends. We both sound like men. It's fantastic. You're going to kill at that because you actually like know and love wrestling. Like a lot of people tweet at me about wrestling just because I'm friends with some wrestlers, but I don't know shit about wrestling, but you know a lot.
I know enough. It was because I worked for the WWE briefly, so
Oh, nice.
Not really.
Okay.
That's why I was.
Sorry to hear that.
That's why I was in the MRI yesterday before I came here.
Because you used to be a pro wrestler? Why?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I broke my neck 3 days into training. I was like, well, my career's over.
Are you
really?
serious?
Yes.
Who are you going to fight?
Who was I going to fight?
Yeah, who are you training for?
I was training with Ava Marie.
Oh shit.
which is why my neck is busted.
Oh damn.
Is she a badass? I don't know who that is.
No, she's just bad.
Oh, she's just bad.
She ain't got no
Bad
ass.
bitch.
She just bad.
No, she's just bad. No, she's like an Instagram model that occasionally can wrestle.
Fantastic. She sounds wonderful. All right, and this guy,
I just keep it real, Kate.
I can't. First of all, I have to say that I'm so glad that we're friends.
Me too.
And I'm so glad that you are a comedian, because if you weren't, I would have definitely had sex with you by now, and
Oh, okay.
we would not be friends anymore.
I quit comedy. guys. Hanging
He's
up
here
my
to
hat.
announce his retirement.
That's why I'm here.
But for real, okay, Paul Elia, hilarious comedian, super funny actor. You're honestly like one of the funniest off-the-cuff people I've ever met in my life. Like your characters, this dude will just be hanging out and he'll just like break into characters, like multiple characters, until I'm literally peeing my pants laughing. Like you're so funny.
I aim to please.
We went to the ranch in San Miguel together last night and did a gig, and Paul just murdered. You were amazing.
Oh, thank you, Kate. So are you.
Well, you were hard to follow. I was like, I can't follow him. What am I going to do? I'm going to have to get these people drunk, which is what I did. But you have a film coming out on July 12th, right?
Yeah.
The Dirty. Coming out basically everywhere. On demand, on all the digital networks.
Yeah,
like
iTunes,
iTunes.
Amazon, Google Play. Thank you. Yeah,
Get those
produced it,
residuals.
starting it.
It's so rad. And he's also on an upcoming episode of Lady Dynamite on Netflix, which is so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
streaming now, episode 5 with Maria Bamford.
You're killing the game. And you and I have worked together on so many things over at All Def Digital as well,
Yeah.
which I love. It's so funny. All this hard work you put into your career, all I ever get recognized
It's for the dick video.
yeah,
It's
for
making
the
out with
crotch
Black
grab.
Jesus.
Yes.
Oh, the crotch grab.
The crotch grab, the black Jesus. A guy came up to me last night. He goes, "Are you that chick that made out with that black dude on that website?" I was like, "Which one? Pornhub?" But yes.
Can you be more specific?
But yeah, so you're awesome, Paul.
Oh, you're awesome too, Kate.
Thank you. Well, we should get into it. Here's a question I have for you. Do you date comics?
I would not. I don't know. I've never dated a comic, but like I've like hooked up with some. But I mean, I think there was one comic that we were hooking up like pretty often, and then we just like cut it off for,
No.
business
Why?
reasons.
Business reasons?
Yeah.
Interesting. How did it start that you were hooking up? Was it like one night after a show? You just
Well, I met her at a Coffee Bean, which is where I meet all the ladies, and
Is this
Sunset
about
and
Kate?
Fairfax.
Because we all know she has an addiction.
Yeah, exactly. The best place to go, Oh, you're drinking the same thing.
They
as
just
me.
start
You wanna
making
fuck?
they start making Kate's drink the minute she walks in.
They actually really do. They know my drink. I have met a lot of, if somebody comes in and orders the same drink as me, I'll use that as a conversation starter. That's how I met
Right.
the last homeless guy I went out
She's
with.
like, I need
Oh,
vanilla.
wow.
She's like, I need vanilla ice blended, extra meth.
hey, I quit drugs 7 days ago, so meth free. 8 days. Isn't that awesome? 8
Wow,
days
congrats.
of sobriety. Yeah, thanks. Last night I smelled tequila and I started shaking. I was like, what is that? I need it. Anyways,
Holy shit.
so she's a comedian, but you met her at a coffee shop?
Yeah, I met her at a coffee shop, and then I randomly saw her at an open mic. I didn't know she was a comedian. We just had like brief conversation, and then from there I was like, hey, I'm doing a show tomorrow. Do you want to get on the show? So I got her on the show, just to
Banger.
exactly. And so I'm a piece of shit. Okay. But I didn't know she was like that into me. I just genuinely wanted to like hear her comedy, and I thought she was cool. And
Wait,
then,
can I just ask you, were you at all bummed when you found out, like you meet this dope chick at a coffee bean, you're like, she's cute. And then when you found out she was a comic, yeah, because when I find out a guy is like, if I meet a hot guy, he's like, I always wanted to try stand up. My vagina goes drier than the Sahara. Like,
Wow, that's dry as shit.
yeah, it's immediately like,
There's
oh,
sand in
it ruins
everything.
everything.
But you know what? I actually like, if a girl is a comedian, she's really funny, then it would be, because I can actually enjoy her company, and she can actually like provide jokes, and we'd have a good time.
Yeah,
but
banter's so important.
Yeah, but if a girl's like so unfunny, and then like I'm hanging out with her, and she'll like add a tag, and it's not funny, and like I'll force to laugh, and I have a really bad forced laugh. Like I'm like this. So she goes, why are you laughing like you're scared? I'm like, oh no, it's funny.
You sound like an old man coughing.
Or getting his getting his exam.
Right, yeah. I mean, there's nothing worse than if you're into someone and then you see them go on stage, and it's not even if they, because sometimes a comic will bomb, but other comics think they're really funny, like a comic who's like almost doing inside jokes for the comics and stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, I can still get down with that, but if you go up and you're just like not at all funny or super awkward, then what do you do? Because you can't.
Well, would you you wouldn't hook up with a comic, but you would hook up with an actor though, right?
I have, yeah.
Would you hook up with a bad actor?
Hell no.
That's not true. Kate dated a porn star.
Well, no, yeah, to be fair, I mean,
Pizza's here? His eye line's like so off and shit. He's like, so who am I fucking? Oh, that's not on the script. Oh, shit.
I know. I've been doing a joke on stage where I'm like, I tried dating a porn star and I really wanted to, but I couldn't handle it once I watched his work. Not because he's fucking other girls. It turned out he was a really shitty actor.
Yeah.
He's such a bad actor. It was a turnoff. It was.
Yeah.
I can't date a bad actor.
I will never. I've had girls that I've met that I've gotten really close to, and then I've seen them act, and then I couldn't talk to them anymore.
Wow.
Am I a piece of shit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
You might be.
But how do you tell them?
Well, I didn't say anything. Like, she came to my acting class. I have an acting studio that I run with this woman named Sue Hamilton. So her and I are running this studio, and this girl came in to audit a class, and I convinced Sue to let her take the class for free and get her to work instead of just sit around and watch.
That's cool.
Yeah, and she started to act, and it was just like so over the top, and it was like so
Maybe
weird.
she's theatrical. You don't know. She could have been a stage actress.
She's a musical theater star.
You know what? I don't think it was that. I really don't. Like,
We should get her into porn.
that's what I'm saying. Like, she literally acted like a porn star.
What if hell was like porn for
Orgasms
bad
for
actors? like if you're a bad actor, we're like, we'll send you over to the adult side. You'll be fine there. I just want to say that I do have some friends who work in porn though, who are actually like decent actors. Like sometimes I even told one guy that I'm friends with, I go, I watched some of your porn and you're a really good actor. You should try to be like a real actor. Like you should get out of there. And he was like, but right now I get to act and fuck people. It's like, that's a good point. You have a point.
Yeah.
So back to your comedian. So you meet her, you find out she's a comic, you get her on a show to try to bang her. Good move. I like that.
Yeah. And she wasn't very funny. And like her jokes just like didn't make any sense. Like she would just do like random act outs out of nowhere. Like she was like, so I was walking down the street, just walking. And then I'm just like,
Well, it's funny when you put it that way, I think.
like, I don't know. Like her comedy didn't appeal to me.
Appeal to
Sure.
you. It wasn't
Yeah.
your sense of humor.
You weren't
Yeah.
feeling it.
Yeah, but like I was still attracted to her, and she said she was a comic, but she wasn't doing as many shows. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people that say they're comics,
Yeah.
but they're not really aggressively, like
Yeah.
It's a
working
hobby.
on their shit. Yeah, it was more of a hobby for her, so that's why I gave her a pass.
Yeah.
Like we still started hooking up and stuff, and then once she took comedy seriously,
Gave
we
her a
stopped
pass
talking.
to his penis.
Really?
I gave
her
her
a
a
dick
penis
pass.
pass. Yeah.
Wait, so once she started doing comedy more seriously, though, then that was it.
Yeah.
It's hard to date anyone you work with. I've talked about this on the show before, but I just think it's a slippery slope. It's like you start dating someone you work with, and it could be fantastic. Like dating a comic on some level, it's great, right? Because you're both funny, you can give each
You're
other
both out
tags.
networking. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and you get the job, but then if it doesn't end well, and then you have to see them.
It's like
all
being
the
in
time.
high school all over again and breaking up with a guy.
It's
Biology
exactly like
again?
high school.
Yes.
Don't you
People
think?
are passing notes about you and shit, except they're like doing it on Twitter where
Oh
everyone
God!
can see it.
Oh God!
Stand Up Batman's writing about it. That's awful.
Can we not? Let's not even. I agree though, the Twitter thing, it's so funny how like social media has changed the way that I date to the point of like I'm terrified to even text guys.
I think you're intimidating to guys.
Oh yeah, like
Kate.
if you text a dude like, "Hey, come over," like a dude will screenshot it, post it on Facebook, and be like, "Yo, look at this girl trying to fuck me."
Well,
Like,
that's
people
what
do
I'm
that shit,
afraid of.
Which is so low class.
Kate just wanted you to light her like pilot light. That's all she wanted. She didn't want you to fuck her. And
Light my pilot light is actually not a euphemism. It's
Right.
I need help. I'm not good
she's
at it.
constantly breaking stuff in her apartment.
I really do need a guy.
She's
just
freezing.
Shit.
She's freezing her ass off.
She lit her hair on fire. I shit you not. There's video evidence.
Yeah,
of
that's
Kate
true.
lighting her hair on fire, trying to light her heater.
Wait, can
Yeah.
I just tell the
And
best?
everyone thinks she's trying to fuck. That's what's
People do. People are like, oh, you just want
DTS, deep down to light your hair on fire.
Wait, can I just tell you the best part of the me lighting my hair on fire story is that I set up a camera. Okay, because I was like, I'm going to make a funny video where I go to light my pilot light, but because my pilot light is so low to the ground, I got to do it head down, ass up.
Video start.
Ass was up.
Ass up, head down, so I can make like a funny joke about it, like, yo, bet you didn't know when your girl lights a pilot light, it's going to be ass up, head down, like whatever, like something stupid. So I set up the camera. So it's low to the ground,
the pilot light.
Right,
assuming.
it's like down
it's
on,
not high.
No, it's on the ground. I have to really bend down to get in there. I got to stick my head in the furnace, in the heater. So
then Paul, the next thing I know, she goes, Jen, you will not believe what just happened. It's not on purpose. And she sends me this video. And you see the top of her top knot catches on fire while she's bent over. And she goes, oh fuck.
Sound like a black chick? Oh, shit.
I have to tell you, the worst part is that I actually got the pilot light lit, but the video wasn't funny. So I was like, I got to do a better video. Like, the angle wasn't good. So I go back to light the pilot light just for the video. I light the match, and then I'm like holding the match on purpose, like where I know it'll look good on camera. And that's when I lit my hair on fire. So I didn't even need to light the thing again. And then I had to go get a haircut.
Anything for an Instagram video, man.
Yeah, but that video did get like the most likes of any video I ever posted. So just
it was worth it.
Worth it. Wasn't planned.
My hair smelled, by the way, like if you've ever lit your hair on fire, it smelled like a dying like it smelled like a dead body for days. I couldn't get it out.
Awful smell.
It wasn't hot. I'm glad we had this talk. Jen, what's going on with you? When you came here, you said you left your boyfriend crying on the ground and you stepped over him.
But she said it so casually, like it was so nonchalant. She goes, yeah, he's crying.
No, here's the
on the ground is the best part.
Here's the thing. If I seem flat affect today, it's because I don't make it like a big hidden secret. Like I suffer from massive anxiety, and so I don't do it often. But I had to take half of a Xanax last night, which compared to what I used to have to be on, like I used to be on enough drugs to kill Keith Richards, but they were all prescribed, by the way, all prescribed. But so I took like half of one last night. But the problem is when I take one, I give zero fucks about everything. And so I don't even know what we were fighting about, but he was yelling, I was talking, and finally I was like, I can't deal with you right now. I'm like, I need a break. And then I couldn't be talked out of it. And he's like, no! And
you told him you needed a break, like a break?
He went like streetcar desire on me, like, screaming at me.
Shit.
And I'm like, this isn't helping. And I'm just completely like, it's borderline stoned. You just don't care.
Yeah, when you're on Xanax, you're just like, and I feel like when you're on
you have no emotional range at all.
It's the best. No. It is the only time I don't go psycho. I need to be on something like that because I think that it would help me from like not blowing up guys. Because I blow up guys I like. I blow up their phones like a crazy person.
You need a chill button, like one of those easy buttons, like from fucking off
from
Staples.
Staples.
It says chill. It's a fucking chill button.
That'd be a great Xanax commercial. It says Xanax on it.
Hit the button.
I suddenly don't care about anything.
How great would it be if, like, remember the night that we went out with the remote control vibrator and I wore the vibrator and every time I tried to talk to a guy and I would say something stupid, Jen would hit the vibrator.
Oh, wow.
She'd turn on the vibrator.
okay.
But the best part was when we ran into comics
that we knew and I was wearing a vibrator and they didn't know.
And I just sat there like...
We ran into Brady Matthews.
How do you wear a vibrator?
It's not easy. You got to have strong Kegel muscles.
Oh, okay.
No, but it's shaped like a mouthpiece, sort of. So, like, there's a part in front and a part inside of you. And so she just had to walk she kind of walked like Danny DeVito in Batman Returns.
Like Penguin?
Yeah. I just love Paul trying to just not act turned on at all by this story over there. He's like, I see.
I came twice. If you want to call in and let you know where I came.
But I mean, like, I feel like I need like some kind of patch that I could wear that would release just little bursts of Xanax into me when Jen hits a button, so that when I text her, I'm like, oh my god, I'm blowing up his phone, I'm going crazy. She could just hit that button and it would just chill me the fuck. I need a chill out.
Shock collar didn't work. We tried.
No, we did. We really did. So you told Cody you need a break, and then he cried, and then you stepped over him to leave while he was crying.
Yeah, like she's.
Yeah, we all know I'm not going to take a break. I just didn't want him yelling anymore. I'm so adverse to conflict where I'm like, That's cool. Like, you and I have fought, and I'm
How
like,
about the other day? Jen and I had a fight.
bye.
Yeah, Jen and I had a fight. Jen texted me a peace sign. I sent her like a thumb up, and then she's like, maybe we need a break. I'm like, I think we do.
Oh,
And then the next
you throw away we need a break all the time.
Wait,
Just throwing out breaks.
She doesn't. We've never said that before. But then then the next morning at like 11 a.m., I'm looking through my new headshots and I'm like dying to send them to Jen. I'm like, fuck, we're on a break. I can't send her.
I can't get career advice when you're on a break.
I know. So then I'm like, God damn. So then I literally was like, I can't be on a break from you. I already missed you. It's 11 a.m. It's been like 11 hours. I'm like, I can't.
I'm just not a dramatic person.
Man,
when
you just
people
be
start
breaking shit off.
When people start fighting with me, I literally will go, "That's cool," and walk away in the middle of a fight.
But that's like worse than like actually being combative. Just like being so dismissive, it like hurts so much.
Yeah, but
I wonder if there's an animal in the animal kingdom that instead of fighting, they're just like, "Fuck it," and they walk away. Like, that's me.
And the tiger's like, no, come back, please.
Oh my God. I don't know. But if I could find that animal, I would try to breed it with myself and make the perfect human. The part This is
the animal with green eyes. Just look fine as fuck.
Paul says to me yesterday, he goes, I don't know why you never noticed I have green eyes before. We've hung out so many. He looks at me yesterday and he goes, wow, you still have green eyes and you're over 30.
She's not a kitten.
I go, what?
I thought after 30, your eyes just changed to brown or something. Like, I've never seen a 40, 50-year-old person with green eyes. I've never seen them. I'm sure they exist.
Change.
What college did you go to? What biology teacher failed you?
What is happening? I'm looking for the questions. Our people are asking questions, relationship questions. Oh,
anyone that's asking us relationship questions after the first block of this show should really re-examine their life.
Yeah, did you not hear the part where Jen's boyfriend is crying at home?
Yeah, he's probably still crying.
I dated a porn star. Paul meets comics at Coffee Bean and then blows them out when he blows them off when he finds out they're actually doing comedy, which is the best. My favorite thing about your stories, though, of these two girls is that both of them, like, you met them and you found out what they do, and then you helped them both. You got them both a a class.
Can we just be friends and do that? You don't want to date me. I'll leave you in a hallway crying.
Now it's a hallway. He made his way from the apartment to the hallway. He's crawling, trying to come over here.
I'm really happy. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, I'm very helpful. Like if I see someone and if I can offer some type of help, I always do it without them even asking.
You are very nice.
Yeah, but
you pay it forward because that shit does come back to you.
Yeah, like I was
100%.
like even when I was shooting Dirty, there was this one chick. She was Asian. She had good skin, and she was like, "Yeah, I want to get my SAG card." And I was like, "Hey, you want to be in my movie?" She was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll put you in my movie." And then I called the director. I'm like, "Look, bro, you got to do me a favor."
And she hasn't booked anything since.
You got to put this girl in the movie.
I know exactly. And now she'll never work again. You're wonderful, Paul.
No, the SAG thing is a tricky thing. It's like you want to be in, but you don't.
But
you can't work not on SAG because you piss off the union.
And like I got her in the film, and then she just never talked to me again after that. So I was like, you know what? I helped her out. I did, but I wasn't upset. I was like, I did my part. I helped somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was attractive. Yeah, I would have liked to got to know her better, but that said something about who she was.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's most of LA.
Do you guys have any recent date fails that you want to share? Besides, well, Jen, you had one today, but I feel, Jen, your relationship is extremely tumultuous. Can we say that?
No, it's not.
It's tumultuous.
It's dramatic on one end.
Bumpy.
No, it's not at all. It's not at all.
But no, not bumpy like I ever think you guys will break up for a minute. I really don't. In fact, the break thing is funny because I can't even believe he believed you. But... Because, like, you guys are so I think you guys are bordering on what I had with the guy that I dated for a year that my friends refer to as the Gone Girl guy, because my friends are like, when I think of you two, it always makes me think of the movie Gone Girl. And
Never
I'm like,
seen it.
Oh, well, the movie Gone Girl, like, they basically are both insane, but she's so crazy that she frames him for murder.
Oh.
And then she ends up basically
good idea
murdering someone else.
She's writing that down.
She put that in my iPhone notes.
Yeah. It's
no,
I'm not
at
crazy.
all. It's not like that at all. It's just one of us is much more dramatic than the other, and it's not me. Which is a switch because usually the girl's supposed to be dramatic.
You're
in
a little more
relationship.
dude-like.
I am.
You're 100% more dude-like.
Well,
If you want to
mean
be
he's
in
more
a
dramatic?
pseudo-gay relationship with someone with boobs, I'm your girl.
Yeah, I think that I'm really dude-like because I'm surface dude and I'm like a tomboy. But when it comes to like sensitivity, I'm so fucking sensitive.
Yeah.
I'm like extremely. So then I go way to the girl side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that girl. I'm like, Kate, don't answer his phone call. I give you great advice, which you never take.
If I listened to Jen's advice, I'd probably have like 4 proposals right now.
Yeah.
I probably really would. It is really true though that the guys you ignore won't leave you alone.
1,000%.
I have a couple guys right now that I'm like, I don't ignore anyone. You saw me yesterday answering people I find.
Yeah, I was so shocked by that. I was shocked.
She's so nice, and I
Like,
don't get it.
Kate would be like, yeah, hey, you know, there's this guy texting me. He's being really rude. And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah. Let me respond to him. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't say he was being rude. I said he just basically like what happens is sometimes guys will not give up trying to hang out with me, and I'll try to find every way to tell them I'm not into it. Like I'll say I'm seeing someone, I'll say I'm not interested, I'll say whatever.
You'll say I'm dead.
Sorry, dead. New phone.
The pilot light. I blew my tits off. I don't care about tits.
I was in a horrible car accident.
But they won't
Things
stop.
happen,
They won't stop asking, which is a great question. Like as a man, if you're into a girl and you keep trying and she knows she's not into you, what is the nicest way she can just put you out of your misery so you stop?
Say it. We need to take a break. I think that's.
What if you never
courtesy of
had
Jen.
anything? What if there was never a non-break?
I mean, because most girls would
Take
just
a break
not
of
respond.
this thing that's not happening.
you need to take a break from texting me. Take a break from knowing my phone number. Take my phone number. This guy.
I've gone crazy on guys to try to get them to break up with me, and they wanted me more.
That's true.
What?
Sometimes, well,
Yeah.
some guys, I dated a guy that's so into crazy, the more crazy I would be, like, he'd hate me, but then the sex would just get hotter and hotter. And it was like, because it was just turning more and more into hate sex. Every time we'd have sex, I'd be like, this is the last time. And he'd be like, then it better be good. It was the best sex I ever had.
Yeah.
It's still to this day.
Great foreplay, by the way. It's great foreplay talk. I love it.
It really is.
Your pillow talk is impeccable.
Still to this day, it's like sometimes I hit that guy up when I'm not hooking up with anyone, or if I'm trying to stop hooking up with someone, I'll hook that guy up. I'll be like, can we just fuck? And then if he says no, I'll start being really mean to him. I'll be like, you're, because the more mean I am to him, the more I know he thinks about it.
Do you guys hear how healthy this sounds?
So wait, Jen, how are you? You said you're mean to guys and then they want you more.
Yeah.
That's my
Ask her
game.
about how she fat shamed her boyfriend into getting in shape.
It worked. It worked. He's in great shape now.
This guy was never fat, by the way, a professional athlete. He was never fat.
Hey, he plays baseball. Like, he picked the one sport besides sumo wrestling you could be fat and be considered an
That's
athlete.
true. That is true. I will give you that. But he was never fat. He was a little on the huskier side of in shape.
He's built for power, not speed.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So Jen starts fat shaming him just like underhandedly in a way that
I called him CM Chunk.
Oh wow.
she told him his rap
That's CM
name.
Punk.
She told him his rap
CM
name would be Two Chins.
What was the other one?
Until he started hitting the gym like 3
Like, you know, it's
times
funny,
a day.
like because it's like so
Bloaty
clever.
He looks like Tony Romo, so I called him Bloaty Romo.
You're an awful person.
I know.
But it worked. He looks hot as fuck. I saw him the other night. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that's a good workout plan. You should like make a tape just making fun of
Just
dudes.
me insulting people
Yeah.
to do P90X. I just sit there. I can personalize it for you guys. Don't worry.
Oh my
Catch
god.
me at the roast.
P90 shame. I'm telling you, it works.
P90 shame.
Yeah.
P90 shame. Let's get to
Shame body.
a few of these questions. I saw that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Let's get
She
to
did it.
It's fine. All right. Please high five for our viewers.
hold
All
hands.
seven
Chad is
of you.
currently still crying.
Who's Chad?
Oh, was that your boyfriend's name?
That's
No.
Cody, but it's funny
Cody,
that you
Cody,
just brought
Chad.
up Chad because that's one of the questions that I have on my. So
Oh, really?
Well, I've been tweeting a little bit about this guy. I don't normally watch The Bachelorette. I'm not a Bachelorette watcher, but I decided just to be up to date, and relevant with
Well,
like,
that
things
and
are
because
relevant.
she's a good friend and I hurt my neck, and so I was like, Kate, come hang out with me and be a civilian for
She
one
made
night.
me watch The Bachelorette and play with kittens, which are two things that I never thought I would do in my life.
It's like a single mom.
If you want to see me almost shit my pants, go on my Periscope feed and watch me trying to hold kittens at Jen's house. I'm terrified.
It's hilarious.
Terrified.
She's scared to death.
There's a guy on the show named Chad.
And I told Kate, I was like, you have to watch this guy. It's your future ex-boyfriend.
She did. She's like, you're gonna marry this guy and divorce him. And I'm like, why? And she's like, he's a psycho.
Well, when he gets out of jail.
He's in jail.
No, but the shit that happened on Tuesday night, like, it's not going well.
Did he punch somebody? I didn't see
Kate,
Tuesday night.
So Tuesday night,
Yeah.
spoilers for anyone who is not caught up with The Bachelorette.
Tune out now.
Tune out for like 2.5 minutes. So he got kicked off the show.
Uh-huh.
Like, he got another guy chosen over him. He went on a 2-on-1 date.
Describe him for people who don't know what Chad is like.
Chad's the kind of guy that walks around with lunch meat in his pockets because he's got to eat every 25 minutes to feed his muscles. They said he's 275 pounds. That's a load of crock. He's like 225 at most.
Yeah, but all
He's
they show him
stacked,
doing is working out.
veins. All he does is work out and eat. Like, he's
wow.
on the rock workout
He's
plan.
really hot. Just
That
FYI.
said,
Oh, and he's hot.
he
Okay.
clearly came off his cycle too fast to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going through any kind of withdrawal that like a person who's been on
Steroids.
would do, where you're just completely irrational. You want to fight everyone and everything. And that's where Chad is. Chad went on a 2-on-1 date, which is, in case that's not awkward enough, they went to the woods with this girl. I was like,
Ooh, I love
yeah.
that bar.
I like that place.
That's my spot.
no, the woods.
Oh, the actual.
Oh, the actual forest.
The actual
woods. I
fucking
thought
woods.
the woods is The Woods is a bar in LA that I think is a great
They
date
went
spot.
they went out into the forest.
Okay.
Okay.
Goddamn jungle.
Was this his idea?
No, this is her idea to go for a hike. I'm like, when we said we wanted Chad to take a hike, this is not what we had in mind. But you're catching on. It's fine. So they go, and then she like takes turns hanging out with them. The one dude besides Chad spent his entire alone time with her, complaining about Chad. Like a bitch. Okay, and then Chad basically spent the rest of his time denying all the accusations that said bitch said about him.
This is why I don't watch this show.
So
Said
anyways,
bitch.
so anyways, she decides that she believes the pansy boy more, who, by the way, he's not a pansy. He's a former Marine, super
The
attractive.
hot one that I like.
Super attractive.
The short one with the
yeah,
tattoos.
But he's like 5. He's like 5'3".
What's his name? I don't care.
He looks like Super Mario before he eats the mushroom.
He's
okay?
so
That's what
hot.
he looks like.
He's the one I want if you're watching Pansy Boy. But he's a tattletale. That's a turn off.
Yeah,
Oh.
not cool.
Too bad.
So anyways, Chad gets kicked off. They leave Chad in the woods. They don't really address what happens to Chad. But then all of a sudden you see Chad like walking through the woods by himself.
Shirtless?
Whistling. No, whistling.
Oh.
Like very Kill Bill-ish.
Oh, God.
Cape Fear, whatever. Walking through the fucking woods. And he shows up back at the dude's house. Like the guy's house that they were all living in. By himself. And he's like knocking on the door. And he puts his fingers on the door and like drags them down. And that's where they cut it.
Come on. Do you think the producers are telling him
American
to do
Horror
this
Story.
stuff?
No,
This
I think
sounds
he's
so
crazy.
directed.
I just
Yeah.
think he's crazy.
The only reason I think he might be really crazy is because on one episode of the show, he was eating a raw sweet potato like an apple. Just eating bites out of a raw sweet potato. Who does that?
That's been a thing lately.
What?
A lot of dudes have been doing that. My cousin came to my house and took a tomato and put a little bit of dressing on it and ate it like an apple.
That's fine. That's a tomato.
Yeah,
That's got
tomato.
a soft skin. Have you eaten a raw sweet
A
potato?
raw potato. It's like eating a rock.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna get you one. I'm gonna get you one. I want to
should be
see
the
you
next
eat it.
challenge.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, but I have to say that even though I don't condone violence or steroid use, but
Chad, call her.
Chad, I do like the fact that you are trying to take out all the other guys on the show because I think if you go on this show, you're automatically a gigantic loser. And I'm sorry to my people that I know that have been on the show. I'm sorry
fine.
to the person I know who's
They
on
know
the
it.
show now.
No, you're not.
I'm not really because
He's a douche.
you are a douchebag, Jordan. But I am. I mean, should I not have said his name? I'm not obligated to any contract. I auditioned to be on The Bachelorette. Did
Yeah.
you?
Did you really?
Yeah, we did it like
Yep.
as a bit. but it was hilarious.
Yep.
And they wanted her, and they're still calling her.
What's
they
the
did.
audition like? You show up and they just ask you questions?
Yeah, well, what happened is Jen and I went to a casino where they were having an open call, and I wore a bikini, and I pretended that I was just going back to my room from the pool. But
It's January.
by the way, the pool wasn't open, which is the best part, and no one questioned it. They were like, "Oh, you were at the pool?" I'm like, "Yeah."
And it was night.
It was nighttime.
It was like 9 o'clock at night.
And we were nowhere near the pool. You had to go to like the 3rd floor to like some ballroom to get to that. But no one questioned it. I was like, "Oh, I was just walking by, and you guys are having auditions for what?"
Oh, and you did that giggle?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
When girls put their hand over the mouth, that's the sexiest shit in the world, bro.
for real?
Oh, yeah.
So Kate had to fill out this long, like 8 pages of paperwork.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
And it was
okay.
like, why did your last relationship end? Why did your marriage end? And she just wrote, see photo, because the photo was of her in a bathing suit in public.
In a hotel ballroom where, by the way, everyone else is like in suits and ties and dresses. It's like
Kate's-
a cocktail party.
Kate's like breakdancing to like, well, not breakdancing. She's twerking.
Trying to
bad
twerking,
twerking.
yeah.
Bad twerking.
Bad twerking?
And everyone's just staring. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and then I went in, and then I got with the producer, one of the producers or
And
whatever.
the first thing she said to you was, I was really hoping I'd get you.
She said, "I saw you out there," and I was like, "I have to have that one."
Wow.
I was like, "I wish a man would say that." But so she interviewed me, and the first thing she asked, she's like, "So why are you in a bikini?" And I was like, "Well, I was at the pool." And she was like, "Okay, let's try that again. Why are you in a bikini?" Like, she wasn't stupid.
No.
And then she was like, "So is this a joke to you, or do you really want to be on the show?" And I was like, "Well, I would be willing to be the Bachelorette, but I want the guys to take me on real dates they can afford in their regular clothes. I want to see where they really live. I want like the blue collar treatment. Like, I want them to be real. I don't want them to be like, I'm a dentist. I want them to be like, I'm an out of work actor trying to be a TV host in Hollywood. Like, I want the real story." And she was like, "Great, it was nice to meet you. You're fantastic. Bye." I never thought I'd hear from them again, but then they did reach out and they really liked me. They want me to be on The Bachelor, though.
Would you ever do it?
Not unless I was doing it for like a hidden purpose. Like,
Don't
no.
talk about it.
I don't think I would do it. I don't think I
You
would.
don't think you'd do it?
And also, definitely, they would never ask me if they look at my Twitter for, because I've been tweeting a lot about my feelings on The Bachelorette, and just I'm not,
Right.
I'm not a fan.
But Jen went with you to audition also.
I didn't audition. I was
you just
I was her
support?
moral support. I was her
Moral support human?
I was her handler.
Yeah, that's how I think of Jen, handler.
I
Saudi
helped her
Arabian?
fill out her her resume, her paperwork. I helped her fill
She
that
helped me
out.
answer the
We
questions.
were crying.
We were crying
filling this
laughing.
out
We
in
really were.
public.
Oh,
It was,
wow.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
We're going to answer one fan question, and then I want to hear your date fail story, because we're actually almost out of time, which is crazy. It's going
Holy
so
shit.
fast.
Can you ask questions about Chad? Someone said. Yes, you can absolutely ask questions about Chad. We don't know him
Yeah.
personally, but I'll be glad to psychoanalyze someone I
And
don't know.
can people still call?
Yeah,
Yeah.
people can still
You
call.
can call.
I have to admit that I would go on one date with Chad, just because I'd be curious to see if he's as big a douchebag in real life as they edited him.
She'd go on multiple dates with Chad, become obsessed with
I
Chad.
probably would fall in love with Chad.
And then you'd blow up his phone and
I
he'd
would-
tell you were crazy,
Yeah.
and then he would send you shirtless
And
pictures.
then we'll see like nail marks
That's
on your
how
door.
this would go.
Chad is exactly the kind of guy that I would catch like major feelings for, because
yeah.
he's so fucking awful that I would somehow convince myself I could change him.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Chad, call me.
That's what I think Kate does. Is Kate internalizes she internalizes other people's problems and puts it on herself, like there's something wrong with her. And I'm like, no, there's something completely wrong with him. You know?
That's true. Well, I'm a product of divorce. Are your parents divorced, Paul?
No, they're still together.
See, that's why you're a good functioning. And Jen, your parents are still together. I have that divorce.
Whether or not they should be remains to be seen. I don't know. Props to my dad though, because my mom is going through crazy menopause right now. So
Mine is too. That's hard. That is hard.
I'm like, who are you? I'm hanging up on you. We need a break. That's my mom.
Mom, we need a break. Dad, we also need a break. I need a break from everyone in
Just
my life
taking a
right now.
break.
That's my move.
Give me a break. You should do a Kit Kat commercial.
Kit
You
Kat,
murder it.
You
yeah.
should spoof a Kit Kat commercial where you're
I
singing
need a
the
break.
song, but it's actually
I need a break.
everyone in your life. Yeah. All
I
right.
can't take any more of your shit.
Yeah, that shit will blow up.
Fantastic. Here's the one question we're going to answer. Well, the question, I think this person is joking. How do you keep sex fresh and alive after the first date? Which is a funny question. But for real, you've been in a relationship for a year now. I was in a long relationship. Paul, Have you ever been in a long relationship?
Never.
Okay.
Longest relationship has been like where I've said, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? Or just someone that you're just hooking up with?
No,
and
well,
you never really established you guys are dating.
someone that you were exclusive with.
7 months.
Oh.
Oof.
Yeah, the sex is still hot for the first year, I think. I mean, how do you keep sex fresh though? Like, okay, that's an interesting question then. Why have you not committed to anyone else? And does it have to do with sex?
No, I'm really picky.
Uh-huh.
And I always, if I'm dating a girl, I'll always think, would my mom like her? Because my mom is a really controlling woman.
Oh.
Yeah, and she like has a lot to say. Yeah, she has a lot to say.
That's why she was on speaker on the plane.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. She goes, "Where are you?" They start speaking Arabic, and I'm like trying to turn it off, and everyone's like, "What?"
On a plane?
Yeah, on the plane.
Everyone around him's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You're like, Mom,
Going
stop
down.
getting kicked off the plane. Stop talking.
And then that's what I realized.
We need a
'cause,
break.
like, she was literally saying things like, "Listen, call me when you get home," and like she was saying in Arabic. But to the untrained ear, Arabic just sounds like terrorist activity.
And even if they speak it, they're like, by home, does she mean heaven? What does she mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that code for something?
Yeah. They're like, I know she's giving him the access codes to the bottom. I'm like, access? What?
Oh, my God.
The actor's
Fantastic.
access codes. What are you talking
She's like,
about?
I packed something in your bag.
It's ticking. It's tick. All right. Well, I'm not going to make you go deeper into why you've never committed to anyone. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's probably something else there.
I mean, the simplest thing is I just, I mean, I would like to be with someone for a long time and be with someone exclusively. And every time I'll like see someone that I'm really physically attracted to, it just never really works out. Mm-hmm. And then I'll meet a girl that I'm not that attracted to, but she's like so into me. And then, I mean, looks do play a big part in who you want.
Of course.
If people say it doesn't, they're full of shit.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
Or at least chemistry does.
Chemistry
Yeah.
is more important to me.
Yeah, because I've hooked up with guys that if I looked at them, I'd be like, I wouldn't be that into it. But then we'll hook up and we'll have like crazy chemistry and it'll be great.
Well, just also, I think personality plays in a lot with you, Kate. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to bond over stuff.
Yeah, and I'm really attracted to talent. Like
Yeah.
super
To
attracted,
talent
which
and
is weird.
vulnerability.
Because
you
I-
like when people are vulnerable with you.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
still working through that with my therapist. And by therapist, I mean drugs. I'm
Jen.
not a- Jen. Well, tell me your worst date fail, Paul, because we got to get out of here.
Okay. I met a girl on Plenty of Fish, and I met her in person, and that's old school Plenty of Fish.
Well,
I've always thought it was
Fish.
Plenty Offish. I was like, who wants to date someone that's called Plenty Offish?
What?
Plenty. She's just being off.
I always thought Plenty of Fish was a Christian dating site until very recently. I had no idea. I thought Fish had something to do with the Jesus thing.
Yeah,
thought it
because
was
he
like
fed there's
bargain
plenty of fish for
shopping.
everybody. That is so funny.
I
swear
thought it
to
was bargain
God.
shopping. I'm dead serious.
It's like a home shopping network.
My life has changed right now.
Yeah, I thought Plenty of Fish was like J-Date for Christians. It's not, though.
It's I think it's for all religions. I think it's for all different sizes of people.
Okay.
It should be called Plenty of Whales because a lot of the women on there were really did not look
Oh
like.
my God.
And
It's on the inside that counts, Tom.
It's chemistry.
right, it's like chemistry. I failed chemistry, and no, but I mean, when I go on a date with somebody, like if I'm not physically attracted to them, I will look at them and think, oh well, I can enjoy this person's company, and they could be my friend.
See, I look
Right.
at someone and I go, can I fix this?
Yeah. Should be
Me
a
too.
contractor. Well, let's see. You know how like plastic surgeons will start drawing lines on people? You draw lines.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm more
We
like
have no idea.
I'm more like the Property Brothers. I'm like, if I knock this wall down and then I extend the living room out that way, it's almost doable.
She
Yeah, yeah,
really is. When Jen looks at, like, I've dated guys, I swear to God, that treat me really well and don't look that good. And Jen is like, that's aesthetics. We can fix that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But go on.
Oh man, so I met this girl and she was a little bit bigger than what I expected.
Fixable.
Yeah, yeah, which is fine. Yeah, I'll just take her to the grocery store and park really far away. You know, she goes, "Why are we parked in Cuba?" I'm like, "I don't know, exercise." So I ended up taking her to the woods, which is a bar, not the actual forest. So I met her there, and she was like really cute, but she was like, so we started talking, and then 5 minutes into our conversation, she just started acting like really fucking like agitated. And,
her coat kicked in.
yeah, and
Or wore off.
yeah, or something. And like she was like asking me questions, then answering the questions, and then I realized that she just wanted me to just listen to her. Like she goes, so where are you from? Well, I'm from Ohio, and I actually did this. Did you play sports? Because I did this. And like she just kept talking, and I was just like listening, and I think there was a point I went to the bathroom.
And she kept talking
I
the
didn't
whole
even
time
tell
you
her.
were gone.
I told her, I was like, I'm just going to the bathroom. And she just kept talking. So I was like, okay. And I just went to the bathroom, came back.
Whoa.
And then she was immediately, like right when I sat down, she was like, hey, so do you want to get out of here and, you know. And she starts doing this.
Ew.
Right?
For those of you that can't see,
Yeah,
He's gyrating.
Yeah, she started
He's
to
gyrating.
gyrate her pelvis area. And that made me...
How did
I'm
you
gonna
feel?
try that on Cody.
How did you feel?
Cody, you wanna do that?
I guess... yeah, no, because like, no, but like, don't smile, just stare. Like, hey, Cody, you want to...
Don't smile.
Wanna?
yeah.
I like to
See, you,
anyway.
you have nice teeth. You can't show your teeth because it's just like too like.
But what guy says no? I feel like you do that. Any guy would be like, yeah.
But like there was a part of me, yeah.
These are the guys I date, by the way. These are
And
the
I like
chads
how
of the world.
I like how they say yeah with such a deep voice.
Yeah.
I dare you to try that on a guy next time you go out.
I will. I don't pass
outta
with
here.
that shit.
You wanna get outta
come
here?
and you sit at the next table over and you just film and we won't
Yeah.
tell him. And you want to get out of here?
And then he goes, and what, hula hoop? You're like, no. What, do the elliptical? No. do a, like,
Oh my god.
I call it doing the elliptical, by the way.
Doing the
I'm gonna
elliptical.
go
Go to
back do the
Zumba? What are you
yeah, what's that?
Zumba class.
All right. Keep going with your story.
So there was a part of me that was like, you know what? I know she's on meth or some drug. I know she's on a drug, and I also know that she
It's
wants to have
selfish
sex.
because she won't share.
She won't share, and I'm like,
What a
bitch, you can't give me
bitch.
two. So I was like, okay, sure, let's go to my house. So we went to my house, and she's on drugs, and she's attractive, and she's down. So right when we walk in, I take off all my clothes, and then she kind of like looks at me, and then she's like, you know what? I think I gotta go. And
After she looked at you naked?
yeah, after but like I had like my underwear on, and I was in good shape, but I felt like all of a sudden the meth wore off. And like all
Can
this.
I ask you one quick question about
Right.
this, please? I just have to ask because I've had guys do this too. And it's like, where in your guy brain, when you get to the apartment, do you just... This is a girl you've never hooked up with before. You guys
Yeah.
haven't even started making out. There's been no foreplay, right?
No foreplay,
But you
no.
still automatically just strip naked because you're like so sure you're about
She's
to get...
doing this. She's doing this.
I don't care. I know, but still, it's
He
like,
was doing the naked man. Dude, that's the move. You just take off your clothes and 2 out of 3 times a girl will have sex with you.
I've never done that
naked?
before. I've never
Jen,
like
what is
completely.
this statistic and where is this coming from?
Oh, How I Met Your Mother.
I mean, like, I just can't imagine.
I think it's 1 out of 3 actually. 1 out of 3. That was this guy's move. He would come in, make himself comfortable at a girl's place, strip down naked, and 1 out of 3 girls would have sex with him.
You're talking about Neil
Wow.
Patrick Harris?
No.
Oh.
Neil Patrick Harris tried to do it though, and it didn't work for him. That was the whole point of the episode.
That's so crazy to me because I've had guys that I literally have invited over for sex, and then when they get there, I might change my mind and not have sex with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I change my mind. I'm a girl. We're entitled.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but
Take
I mean,
notes, Stanford.
She's giving me all these signals that she
Sorry.
wants to hook up. So I was like, all right, she wants to hook up, and then like we got. Like right when we got into the house, I decided to take a risk, you know?
Yeah.
Like I had pocket threes and I went all in, you know, it's thinking, you know.
But you got naked and she saw you and she just left?
No, like I was in decent shape at the time. I'm still.
I
in
love how
shape.
he's defending himself.
You know, yeah, exactly. I'm like, listen, elliptical. You hear all these
Paul is a
gym
hot
references?
guy. For people who aren't watching this, Paul is super handsome,
Yeah,
super hot.
handsome as
Any
fuck.
girl would be lucky
Doing
to
my thing.
Handsome
hook up
AF.
with Paul. Serious,
He
I'm being
has 2
serious.
eyebrows, which are very well groomed.
I'm
Two
not even
eyebrows.
kidding. I think I even told Jen before. I'm
For
like,
guys, that's the standard.
right? Like, too bad Paul's a comic. He's hot. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
like you're hot.
Oh,
you're
thank you,
hot.
honey.
Yeah. You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
So, but then you guys didn't hook up.
No, we I guess her drugs wore off, and I took off my shirt and then I started like unbuckle my belt and I took off my pants and I was like, hey, you know, we got a pool if you want to like swim or something too. And then she was like, I think I'm gonna go. And like she said like really dramatic, like fucking Amy Adams in like some movie. And then I was like, oh, what's wrong? And she was like, I actually have a meeting with this manager. And I'm like,
it's like 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's like 2 a.m. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this manager come from? You know? And then she was like, I mean, if you have your headshot, I can like bring it to him or something. And
She asked you for a headshot.
Yeah, she asked me for my headshot. And I'm just,
oh my God.
And the thing is, I'm standing there like fucking Oliver Twist, like kind of naked, like, I don't have a headshot, but like, oh my God.
I told you, it's plenty offish from the brain.
Yeah.
That's a great classic LA date fail. Girl shows up, fucked up on who knows what, goes back, gives you the fake gyrate face.
I've never, that gyrate, I've never had anyone do that. And like, that only means let's have
They're
sex.
both like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it.
all right, I think that was one of the best date fails. I give you props, especially because she asked for your headshot at the end.
Yeah, she asked for my headshot. Yeah.
I mean, I
Doesn't get better.
guess.
Oh God. Well, can I just say this was super fun. I'm
this is
so glad
great.
you guys were
Always.
here. You both look great on camera, which is really important.
Oh, so do you, honey. You
Wow.
look great.
Thank you.
You have green eyes.
All right.
Jen has perfect teeth.
And you have eyebrows, so we're
Yep.
killing it, the three
Killing
of us.
it.
Yeah, you got some perfect teeth, Jen.
I try.
She really does.
I have braces.
You should see her naked.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, listen, this has been Date Fails. You guys have been Paul, Elia, Jen Sterger. Where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter, Instagram, all that, Facebook, at PaulElia123, and Dirty comes out July 12th on all digital platforms. Watch for that.
Yeah. And Jen?
My couch crying.
Yeah.
No.
Stepping over, crying then.
No, you can find me on Twitter at Jennifer Sterger. Instagram's the same thing. I'm going to be at Meltdown Comics quite a bit. I mean, Meltdown might be my new home.
New home.
I'm going to be doing the historical roast there. We're going to be doing the drunk shopping this weekend where we actually get to sell off items that our exes gave us.
Oh,
It's going to
fuck
be
yeah.
amazing.
How do you sell herpes? I don't know how to.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say, if you're not following Jen on Twitter, her Twitter is fucking hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, man.
It's so funny.
So is yours.
Oh, thank
Really.
you, Kate. So is yours.
Well,
you
yeah.
guys are really
We're all-
funny.
Whatever.
We're killing it.
And you guys all know you can follow me at Kate Q Funny. I will tweet a photo of us so you can find these two. And this has been really fun. Thank you guys for being here. See you next
Thanks,
time on
Kate.
Date Fails. Bye. Woo.